Hi, Lisa.
Yay,
Hi, Lisa.
hey, everybody.
Should have brought her, I should drive over there with dessert.
We're gonna trust them. We're going.
A picnic.
I know, Lisa, I didn't even think of it. I should have asked them for a dessert to go.
I'm good.
Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. I'd like to open up today's meeting. I need a nomination for a chairperson.
Nominate Gary James.
Second,
Seconded, nominated by Dave Irving, seconded by Dick Early. Are there any other nominations? Okay, if there are no other nominations for a chairperson, then I need a nomination to close nominations of a chairperson.
Move to close.
Second,
I need a roll call vote. Mr. Early,
Gary James.
Mr. Lake.
Gary James. Gary James.
James.
Gary James. Gary
Gary.
Gary.
James.
Lisa,
Yes, Gary.
great.
We miss you.
Okay, this meeting is now turned over to the new chairperson.
Here's the gap.
If I can just say one thing before I turn this meeting over to Mr. James, I just really want to thank Brett Murphy for the last 3 years, 3.5 years. These were the toughest 3 years for me professionally, with going through COVID and dealing with taking the kids out of school, bringing the kids back to school, and how we were going to do that. And Mr. Murphy, you were a great sounding board. You helped me tremendously, and I just really want to thank you publicly for that.
Very well.
Hey, Brad.
Madam Superintendent, can I say something?
Yes.
On behalf of the school committee, 3 years ago, you were a little timid about maybe trying this out, but I think you did yourself well for the last 3 years. You were excellent, an excellent leader, and we'll follow you anywhere.
Sure.
Excellent
Yep.
role model. Thank you,
Yep.
Brett.
Yeah.
One more. Great job.
Thanks, Dave.
Gary, you got your hands full going forward.
I know.
We have the new school.
Asked it not to move. all
No, no, no.
I'll just bring over here for you.
What about you?
I know.
You're supposed to be
Good
here.
spot. It's a nice spot. You like it up there, huh?
He's good for right now.
You always like that spot too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
Different view.
It is.
now I need to ask for a nomination for
Mr.
vice
Chairman.
chair.
Move
Yes.
Ron Fitzgerald as vice chair. Second.
Second,
Any others? Okay, can we, Dick, we'll start with you.
Ron. Ron.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Sandy,
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Scott,
Joe.
David,
Ron.
Joanna,
what do you run?
Kurt Zabowski. Is that how you say it? Zabowski?
Slavosky.
Zabowski.
Kirk.
Brett?
Gerald.
Well, and Lisa.
congratulations.
And Lisa.
Yes, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Oh, man, bye. Losing my buddy.
And Dave, would you like to stay as secretary?
Yes, I'd be honest.
And Kevin Mahoney, is Kevin here?
He is.
Kevin, would you like to remain as treasurer?
30 seconds.
Okay. So, Joanna True,
Oh,
do
yeah.
you mind being the assistant treasurer?
Okay,
Okay.
all right. I talked to Lisa. I think it's gonna be fine.
Now, we need to appoint members to sign warrants and an alternate. Brett is one. Joanna, would you like to remain?
Yeah, does Kara think I should keep doing it? I'm always about a day late. You're right? Okay, all right, fine. I'll keep doing it.
And can I continue?
That's the important.
And the reason why, and I'll continue, unless somebody else wants it, to sign the warrants. It's about something once a week, once every other week. Kevin, would you mind being appointed to being our treasurer?
Good evening. Yes, my pleasure to serve the district and the school committee in my role as treasurer. I've been on a couple of years now, and it's been great to be back and seeing all the folks that I've worked with. And it'd be my pleasure to serve for another year.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Would anyone like to serve as an alternate for the warrants? We need, okay. Mr. Noyes. Okay. Okay. Now we need to establish that the school committee will meet regularly on the second Wednesday of each month at
6:30.
6:30.
So moved.
Is there anyone who would even consider doing a 6, or do people have other commitments?
I don't say this.
Okay, then let's keep it at 6:30. 6:30, is that agreeable with everyone?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry.
That's up, no, don't apologize. And we need a motion to adjourn. Oh, okay. Thank you. Mr. Early, we need a roll call. Mr. Early?
What's the roll call
To
for?
adjourn?
The roll call is for continuing to meet on the second Wednesday of each month.
Yes.
At 6:30.
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Woods.
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. Troop,
Yes.
Mr. Sabosky,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Connor.
Yes.
And then we need to, motion to adjourn
Move to adjourn.
Second.
and a roll call. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yep.
Mr. Sabatsky,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
You. Now we're gonna open a public hearing on the fiscal year 24 budget. We need to take attendance. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Carpenter.
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Attendance, I'm here.
Mr. Irving.
Here.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Ms. True,
Here.
Mr. Slavoski,
Here.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Okay, this meeting is being recorded and held hybrid. Per order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, the public is not allowed to physically access this meeting. The public can view the meeting live via YouTube, and public comment was made available through email in advance of the meeting start time. Was there any public comment? I hear no. If not, we're gonna need a motion to close the public hearing on the fiscal year 24 budget. Next second,
Second.
Mr. Irving. We need, there's a motion right now to adopt the fiscal year 24 budget in the amount of 29,736,360. Oh, okay. So I'll do yet another roll call. And this is to close the public hearing on fiscal year 24 budget. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski. Okay,
Yes.
trouble with that. Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
yes,
Yes, okay. I'd like a motion to adopt the fiscal year 24 budget in the amount of $29,736,360.
Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
I abstain.
okay, Mr. Noyes,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. Savorsky,
I abstain.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. O'Connor.
yes,
And I also need a motion to approve a capital assessment to the communities in the amount of $695,000.
So moved.
Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Abstain.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Ms. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Mr. Savorsky,
Abstain.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. O'Connor.
yes,
Well, now I'd like to have a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yeah.
It's a really good name, good way to get to know you guys' name. Mr. Noyes, especially the newer guys.
But he
Uh,
stumbled
Bobby-
over there.
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Better.
and Ms. O'Connor.
yes.
That's fine. Now I'm set the regular. Do you have my sheet for the regular? Yeah. Take a breather when you pull one.
You can really spread out
I
now.
was gonna say, what we usually do is we just slide.
Yeah.
Do we have an agenda? It's very. It's got something up in the email.
Good evening. Today is Wednesday, April 12th, 2023 at 6:35. Legislation extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency includes an extension of the remote meeting provisions. Per this extension, the public will not be allowed to physically access the school committee meeting. This meeting will be conducted hybrid. And now can we stand to do it? Pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I need to. Oh, is there any public comment? Can I read it? Okay, all comments will be recorded to the record. And all attempts will be made to mention them live during the meeting. Any emails received during the meeting will be mentioned at the following meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the budget workshop?
Mr. Chairman, move the minutes of the budget workshop for approval for March 15th.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Kurt Slabowski,
Yes.
Brett Murphy,
Yes.
and Lisa O'Connor.
yes,
And I also need a roll call vote on the minutes of the regular school committee meeting on March 15th.
Move approval.
Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
and welcome. Welcome to school committee.
Thank you.
He's our new representative from Merrimack.
That is.
Yes,
big
welcome.
City of Merrimack.
Mr. Noyes, Ms.
Yes.
Carpenter,
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mr. Irving.
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Mr. Savasky.
Yes.
Welcome, your first meeting.
Thank
He's
you.
our new representative from Georgetown. Mr. Murphy
Yes.
and Ms. O'Connor.
yes,
And now we also need an approval vote on the vote from the minutes of the executive session.
Approval. Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Carpenter.
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Mr. Savasky,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. O'Connor.
yes,
And the treasury report,
Move approval.
Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Carpenter.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Joanna, Ms. True,
Yes.
Mr. Savasky,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Lisa O'Connor.
yes,
And now Taylor LeBlanc, our student, is gonna. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. School committee, self-evaluations are in your pocket. Do you have any questions or comments on the school committee self-eval? I see no comments. Let's
Kind of
continue.
a wise guy comment, but I'll just keep it to myself.
And now I have a student rep report from Tyler LeBlanc.
April 12th, 2023, April School Committee Report. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and all other school committee members. Baseball has elected their captains and are looking forward to a great season. The team started with a big win over non-league opponent Newburyport and then suffered a tough loss to Amesbury. They open up their league schedule against Greater Lawrence on Wednesday, April 12th. It is a great group of players that are dedicated and enjoy playing together as a team. Softball had 52 student athletes come out for the program. The varsity girls are off to a great start with a win over Cathedral High School. We are very excited for the upcoming season, and we are hoping to make it back to the state tournament. Girls lacrosse has started the season off right. We co-op with Amesbury and have over 25 student athletes participating. We won our first game against Mystic Valley and are currently 1-1. Boys lacrosse is also off to a great start. We are 3-0 and had our first shutout. Our team is made of mostly freshmen and sophomores, but we have strong leaders from our upperclassmen. Volleyball is excited to be having their first ever winter boys volleyball team. We have 21 students participating, with only one player having prior experience. We opened up the season against Lynn Tech, winning 3-0. Girls track has great numbers and is being led by a great set of captains this season. At the first meet of the year, the girls team broke the 100-meter school record and the 4x100-meter school record. Boys track is also off to a great start this season. Our first meet showcased some of Whittier's best performances for our 100-meter and 4x100-meter relay and 1-mile races. Skills USA is preparing to travel to Marlborough with 92 students to participate in the State Leadership Conference and Championships. We are returning to the pre-COVID schedule with all contests happening over the 2 days and medals announced at the end. National qualifiers will be announced at the closing ceremony on April 29th. Multicultural Club hosted a presentation with peer-to-peer about bystander intervention. In addition, our club participated in the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Student Focus Group on March 30th. Key Club just wrapped up its last bunch of cards this year. We made Easter cards that were delivered to assisted living locations and meal delivery programs in Amesbury and Newburyport. Peer leadership met with DEI student group and discussed ways to improve, promote, and educate the school's diversity and equity awareness among students and teachers. Interact Club sent out Easter cards to area homes in Haverhill. We had a spring basket raffle in which we raffled 2 baskets and were able to raise money for more holiday cards. The club president and vice president attended a Haverhill Rotary Club meeting on March 23rd, and we will be hosting the Rotary meeting at the Poets Inn on April 13th. Chess Club is holding its second tournament this week. The last one lasted a month because the finalists were so equally matched. Student government is working on preparations for Teacher Appreciation Week and trying to coordinate something special with the other clubs. We are also proud of our student faculty basketball game and hoping to do another one in the fall. In May, we will finalize preparations for our June elections for the classes of 2024, 25, and 26. GSA is planning their Day of Silence, which is going to be observed on Friday, April 14th. Our end of the year Pride Party is scheduled for May 25th. Environmental Club is continuing to work on their tree projects. Everything will be complete when the signs are printed by CAD. We start seedlings for a tower garden that will be in the Poets. We are also organizing a trash cleanup day on April 27th in celebration of Earth Day. Drama Club's performances of Mamma Mia on March 17th, 18th, and 19th were outstanding. We are so proud of each and every one of the students involved and are so thankful to all of the staff members and admin who volunteered their time to help. We are now shifting our focus to the Senior Talent Show, which is scheduled for May 26th. Art Club is making tissue paper flowers for the Aspen Hill Prom and continuing to work on paintings and ceramic sculptures. Yearbook Club has sent out the 2023 yearbook. We anticipate delivery 1 week in advance of graduation. The students did a great job with the photography, photo editing, page layout, and vendor relations. Model UN participated in UMass Lowell's Model UN competition on April 4th and 5th. This was our 3rd debate competition of the school year. Several topics were discussed, including Security Council reform, Russian aggression in Eastern Europe, and countering disinformation within NATO states. 2 of our students were recognized for their performance at the conference. Poetry intends to read poetry over the loudspeaker during the morning announcements in celebration of National Poetry Month. Thank you.
Superintendent's report.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Tonight before you, I have personnel action. I have early college assessment reviewers, attendance makeup monitors, April vacation boot camp, our CTI summer program hires, early college boot camp prep program instructor, that's a mouthful, financial literacy program manager, financial literacy program advisors, scope and sequences for the new Skills USA electives, and a reading specialist. I also have before you resignations of an electrical instructor and the administrative assistant to the principal for retirement purposes. I worked with Brenda Williams, who's retiring as the principal, and she's been here for over 20 years and just a wonderful person, and we will definitely miss her. I know Mr. Leganis will miss her in her retirement. So the public hearing on the FY24 budget was held earlier this evening, and the budget books will be distributed as soon as possible to our cities and towns. On March 28th and 29th, 321 sophomores took the ELA MCAS exam. Sophomores will take the MCAS, the math MCAS May 16th through the 17th. School building update, MSBA will be voting on April 26th to move us into schematic design phase. There have been many meetings to ensure that we have everything needed for this stage of our feasibility study. I want to thank the entire team for a job well done. Yesterday, there was a walkthrough for the CM RFP pre-proposal, another mouthful. On Friday, March 17th, I attended the Exchange Club of Haverhill St. Patrick's breakfast with Kara Cosmas. On Friday, March 17th, I hosted a superintendent's luncheon at Whittier. All of the district superintendents were in attendance. This time offers us a chance to discuss budget concerns and other common district matters. On March 18th, I think she left, but we had an amazing play, Mamma Mia, here at the school. It was fabulous. Actually, I sat with you, Ms. True.
Serious talent there.
Yeah, it was great. And I really want to thank Elaine Bucher, who was here for dinner, and Sarah Anderson for their hard work for that play. It was amazing. And everything from our carpentry program was involved, a music program. It just was a whole school event, and it was amazing. On Monday, March 20th, I attended a finance webinar on Chapter 70 funding. On Wednesday, March 22nd, I attended the MASS 18th Annual Women's Educational Leadership Network Conference at Holy Cross in Worcester. This was my first time attending this conference. It was wonderful to hear about other women leader experiences. On Thursday, March 23rd, we had a co-teaching training with the entire administrative team. This was one of many PDs that were looking to improving our co-teaching model. On Tuesday, March 28th, I attended the remote school building committee meeting. On Wednesday, March 29th, April 5th, and today I attended the weekly executive project meetings. On Wednesday, March 29th, I attended the online MSBA facilities assessment meeting. It was a great meeting as we move into schematic design with MSBA. On Thursday, March 30th, I met with Lane Glenn, the president of Northern Essex Community College here at the Poets Inn. We discussed ways we can work together beyond the early college program. On Friday, March 31st, Whittier hosted the North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable legislative meeting. We had superintendents from all over the North Shore as well as legislators to discuss school funding and budget concerns that we all have. I want to publicly thank the culinary team for an exceptional meal. Everyone was very impressed, and it was a great afternoon. On Friday, March 31st through April 2nd, I attended the CTE conference at the keynotes. At the conference, the keynote speaker wanted to discuss what a successful worker is. Desi provided an update on licensure, and there was a banquet where Kai Reed, one of our students, was recognized as the Outstanding Vocational Student of the Year. And I've asked if he can come to our next meeting, so you can meet him. On Monday, April 3rd, Ms. Cosmas and I had budget breakfasts. In attendance was Georgetown, West Newbury, Salisbury, Ipswich, and Merrimack. And then again, we did it on Tuesday, April 4th, and we had Rowley, Newburyport, Newbury, Groveland, and Haverhill. These are great chances for us to share what's happening at Whittier, what our budget looks like, and discuss, the school building project and other issues as we move forward. On Wednesday, April 5th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce Economic Development Conference with Kara Cosmas at the Phoenician in Haverhill. On Thursday, April 6th, I met with Tom Zuper, John Guilfoyle, and Deb Santos to discuss the building project and how we are going to inform our community about it effectively. On Thursday, April 6th, Whittier hosted the annual General Advisory Board meeting. School committee superintendent, we had another amazing dinner, and the culinary team did a fabulous job. I want to thank our freshman Skills USA presentation. Those students did an exceptional job. Jaden Craig, the state president of Skills USA, who is a Whittier Tech student, for his keynote, and then Scott Robertson for sharing his thoughts about the building project as we move forward. I really want to thank Amanda Crosby and Paul Moskovich for putting together this a wonderful event, and of course, again, our culinary team. On Tuesday, April 11th, I attended the remote Whittier School Building Committee meeting, and on Tuesday, April 11th, I attended the remote CM RFP pre-proposal walkthrough meeting.
So superintendent, what do you do in your spare time?
There is.
Wow.
I love my job. I do. I do.
We love you to love your job.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
We
I
absolutely
love my
do.
job. It's never boring.
Never, never a dull moment.
Before you, I have two job descriptions. One is for the associate principal. I need a vote whether you approve that or not.
Move the approval.
Second.
Round again. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Clevenger.
Yes.
Mr. Wood, who's not here. Dave Irving.
Aye.
Ron Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Joanna True,
Yes.
Kurt Slavoski.
Yes.
I did it right. Brett Murphy.
Yeah.
And Lisa O'Connor.
yes,
I also have before you the instructional technology specialist job description.
Move to adopt.
Second. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Clevenger,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Lisa O'Connor,
yes,
Also before you, we have an establishment of a scholarship. The Haverhill Garden Club would like to establish the Nancy Lagasse Memorial Scholarship. Did I say that right, Kara? Lagasse Memorial Scholarship for a graduating senior in the amount of $1,000. Nancy was the founder of the Haverhill Garden Club. The student should be a Haverhill resident with a grade average of a B or better and will be attending a 2 or 4 year college and plans to study botany, horticulture, earth sciences, biology, environmental studies, conservation, or related fields such as landscape architecture.
With acceptance with gratitude.
Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Mr. Irvin.
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yep.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. O'Connor.
yes, and thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And next I have Christine Morrison, the Director of Pupil Personnel, to give an admissions update.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the school committee and Superintendent Lynch. I have shared in your packet the April 2023 admissions report. For the class of 2027, we processed 694 complete applications compared to 698 last year. We were able to continue our in-person tours with our middle schools this year. And our annual open house was held on November 6th for our 8th grade students. We are thankful to our middle schools who welcomed us back again this year for in-person interviews. Our admissions team did an outstanding job processing and interviewing nearly 700 applicants. We were able to accept 371 students as of today. 266 students have committed to attend Whittier Tech in the fall. And students have until May 1st to accept. Are there any questions?
So do you interview each of the 695 students?
Yes, we
And
do.
do you have a list of questions that you ask them?
We do.
So it's like a formal interview.
It's a formal interview
real interview.
rubric.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds daunting.
it is. But they did a great job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Early.
Do you get many calls after the fact?
Yes, we do. Yes, many.
What do we do with them?
Well, we tell them about the process.
Yep.
And their opportunities to
So you
reapply.
explain to them that there is a process.
That's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's daunting, having been a part of that process for many years. It's a daunting process.
It is.
It's getting worse.
Yes,
There it is.
yes.
Quick question, I may have missed it. How many have been waitlisted?
On the wait list, we have 338 students.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for this one?
I do have one. Of the 338 students, what would you say a percentage of those would get in? You don't know until
Right.
the kids commit or don't commit.
That's
Okay.
correct. We won't know till after May 1st.
So there's a chance, you just gotta find out till May 1st.
That's right.
Thank you.
We're still waiting on about 88 students to
Thank you.
respond. You're welcome.
And then they can reapply again in January. Am I right? Or is that still?
Yes, for
Freshman.
any open seats, depending how the enrollment is. Yes. And that's the only time they can do that is as a freshman at the mid-year. And then they can apply again at the beginning of grade 10 and at the beginning of grade 11.
Any other questions?
Lisa has a
Oh, yes, Lisa.
Okay, I have a question. Out of the number of students that are waitlisted, if like 20 spots open up come May 1st, do you start at the top of the list because every student is, I don't want to say ranked or scored? So then you would go to the first student on the wait list, or is it like a pull a name out of a hat kind of raffle, or how are those seats?
It is a rank ordered list, so we start at the top.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Yes,
So the wait list does not have to reapply in January?
they do actually. The wait list is dissolved at the end of the summer after the seats have been filled for the beginning of the school year. And then the new admission cycle starts for the mid-year point.
Okay, Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mrs. Leganis.
Right. I hear your voice every Sunday night.
Isn't it special?
It goes right through the house.
Oh, boy. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations,
Thank you. Mrs. Leganis.
Superintendent Lynch, rest of the school committee. In front of you tonight, I have, believe it or not, the 2023-2024 calendar. If you have any questions, just a couple of highlights. We're back to school. It's August 30th. The students come back of this year after the summer. And the staff will be back the 28th. And then fast forward again, 2024, graduation looks like will be the 30th. And the last day of school will be June 11th. So again, this sometimes is subject to change. We learned that through COVID, but hopefully this won't change much during the year. So any questions?
Okay, we do have to have a roll call vote for that. Move approval.
Second?
Yes. Sorry about that. I'll get,
It'll get better.
do I have a motion? We have the motion. We have a second. Okay. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mr. Erding.
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Mr. Sawaski,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes,
Great, thank you. And also I have in front of you tonight is the handbook for the 2023-2024 school year. Just a few highlights. If you flip through our little book here, actually, if you print it out, it's pretty thick. The school committee names, obviously the new names, then obviously the new appointed chairs and vice chair will be on there. I also, some of the administrative titles that have changed are on there. If you look at page 9 and 10, I highlighted it's an absence, lates, and dismissals. It's just to make things clearer for students and guardians and parents about being late and absent to school and the dismissal process. Late to school as well is on there. We also have a freshman exploratory dress code that's in there this year. Also, the service for students with disabilities, 504s. There's a paragraph in there as well about 504s that our students with disabilities have. And also student discipline. There's a section on page 38. I know everybody's heard about restorative justice. And these are ways to re-engage our students. That's in there for the discipline. We've been doing this for years. For example, with some of the safety plans that we use, guidance referrals, instead of going right to discipline, or mediation, which is also a great program for us, instead of going right to discipline, and also conflict types, things like conflict resolution. So that's what you'll see in that paragraph. The discipline in students with disabilities on page 46, there's no changes to that, but it's just the placement. Our district council said to put the placement because it's within its own entity with disciplining special ed students. So that's why it's just moved right after the discipline of regular ed students. Also, the suspension which is a school committee policy on VV, which is the letters in the back of the school committee policies. Nothing has changed there, but it's just to see page 38, which would revert back to the area of the restorative type justice and alternative measures of discipline. And thank you very much for formatting too, Mr. Chairman. Some of the formatting on there will change. Again, it'll be online. And, the reason being, and speaking with Superintendent Lynch, is to get our handbook out there early because May 20th, we're going to have freshman orientation coming around the corner. We'll have 371, was it? So hopefully 371 coming through the door. So approval of the building parent handbook.
Second. And another roll call.
Can I ask a
Yes,
question?
sure.
So early on in the handbook, there is a discussion of, I guess you do an annual safety audit for the school. And then we look at it, is that something that we have scheduled for a certain month on an annual basis? I just wonder when.
So we meet with the police chief and the fire chief, and that's usually in August that we meet with them to go over our safety plan. And then we also have to submit that to the Department of Education as well.
And do we see that as an agenda item, like at the September meeting or the?
It hasn't been. We were just taking care of it because we have to. It's not.
If
a
I
school
were to
committee
ask for that,
approval.
would I do that now, or would I send a email to somebody?
You can ask for it now. We'll do that.
Yep.
What are you looking for, though? I'm not
I
really
mean-
sure what you're looking for.
My sense is that we have to prepare a document.
We have a meeting. We don't necessarily, we have a document that we have to send into the department. And that just says where the radios are, where certain things are. There's some things that I am concerned about making public in a public meeting,
Right.
because we are talking about school security.
Pretty sensitive.
So
Right.
how about you and I talk about it later, and then we can kind of go from there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Noyes.
Yes.
Ms. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mr. Urban,
Aye.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Mr. Sabowski,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes,
Thank you. Mr.
Thank you very
Legan.
much. Early on Sunday night, my voice will be there.
Oh, I'll hear it.
We'll echo right through the house.
Imagine how it goes through the
Know what that
building.
means.
It's Sunday, his Sunday message,
Sunday message.
but I didn't know it was coming, I didn't realize it was phone call, I see.
Oh, yeah, that was the phone call too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
It's
because I don't,
online too.
it's online,
Yeah.
so I read it on.
Phone calls 24/7, so she loves it.
Can't get it on.
It's okay. And now I have Ms. Cosmos, our business manager.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the committee. In your packet is the variance analysis. Believe it or not, we are more than 3/4 of the way through the school year. At this mark, we are on track financially, and I will be bringing transfer requests at the end of the year to balance the accounts. Once again, we had a lot of grants, especially COVID grants. So we try to use those funds first, and those free up revenues in the district budget. And sometimes we're able to buy a lot of things for next year, at the end of the year. So there are transfers that need to be done at year end.
Does it mean you can encumber
Yes,
programs or? materials?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we typically do that. We've been doing more of it because we've had a lot of these extra grants, which won't be continuing, but yes,
Right.
we do that.
By July 1st, you have to do it.
Mhm.
Yes,
I want to commend the staff, business department, the whole staff for keeping these numbers pretty tight. I know at the end of the year, knock on wood, that there'll be some surplus, but oil, electricity, that stuff was a pretty challenging thing, and I want to commend you.
Thank you.
Because I asked a lot of questions earlier.
Thank you. We do our best. I don't do it alone by any
Oh, I
means. I
said
have
the
great
staff.
staff and wonderful people to work with. And a great school committee who supports us, so.
No
we
question about
appreciate
it.
that.
any other question?
Okay,
thank you.
I have a couple of things.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to update you on the Whittier Tech Educational Foundation. For some of the new members, we have a foundation that we started in 2016 that serves to augment what we do for the students here, and it mostly provides student scholarships as well as items for students who might be in need. For example, if they need work boots or if they're going on a co-op job. We recently received a new $500 scholarship. The Scott Marchand SP Commercial Services HVAC Student Scholarship, say that 3 times fast, is a one-time award to be given to a graduating HVAC student. The funds can be used for a college or a technical program, night school, or for purchasing tools for work. The foundation is grateful for this generous donation, and we wanted to make the committee aware of another scholarship donation to the foundation. We also wanted to update you on our Kentucky Derby events. As you know, for the past several years, we've been doing Kentucky Derby events, and we have a two-parter this year. We'll be celebrating Kentucky Derby Day on May 6th. The first part of this is a raffle. The raffle has a first prize of $10,000. Only 300 tickets will be sold, and there are only about 50 tickets left. So if anybody wants tickets, we have them. And that winning ticket will be pulled at a Kentucky Derby party, which will be held on May 6th at 5 p.m. at the Bradford Country Club. This is always a fun event. It will feature food, live music, terrific raffle prizes, and a chance for those in attendance to show off their best Derby attire. And if anybody would like to attend that, the tickets are available online at Foundation at Whittier Tech. All proceeds from both events will benefit student scholarships. And that is all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do have one more question. What's going on with the buses? Are we looking at another contract?
No, if you recall, we bought the
Yeah.
leased buses. So
Correct.
we will put a down payment on at the end of this year, and we will
Buses
finance. Buses are very hard to come by,
Oh,
and
I
they're
know.
they're much more expensive.
Triple.
We, as I reported before, we typically turn our buses over every 5 years. We have had them for 5 years, but our mechanics have told us that these buses are good for at least 2 or 3 more years. So we decided to buy out the lease option.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Give an update on that.
Okay.
Um, in May, the May annual agenda items. The appointment of subcommittees. Superintendent evaluation and new student representative to the committee, and that'll be your last, huh?
Yep.
Ah, oh, you did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Really did.
Thank you.
Okay. Any comments, questions?
She'll have to give us an update or a post-grad plans.
I asked her.
Oh,
She's still sort of not sure.
that's okay. Maybe next.
Oh, sorry, what was
No,
That's okay. Next, so
she's-
next month you can.
She's got 2
update it.
schools, I guess, in mind.
Yes, I'm looking at Emerson and Endicott. They're very different,
They-
but
Very-
yeah,
Two good choices.
yes.
very good choice.
Yeah.
I'll know by May 1st.
Okay.
Yep,
Yes, have to be easy. Just remember, Endicott has 3 beaches.
that's right.
I get the bills to prove it.
Yeah.
But Emerson has a beautiful city.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. So.
Tough choice.
Yep.
tough choice, absolutely. Subcommittee reports. The executive committee, I don't think there's a need for us to meet this lunch.
There's not at this point.
Instructional personnel. We
Have
have
not
not
met.
met.
Not sure.
Nothing right
Plan
now.
operations,
Nothing right now.
salary and negotiations, Mr. Early.
We have not met, but will be meeting, what, middle to the end of the summer?
No, in May.
Next month? All
We
right.
need to meet in May. So before the next school committee meeting?
Yeah. whenever you
5:30?
want. Yeah, 5:30 is good. That's if the new chairman tells me I'm still on.
Oh, actually, do we want to do that earlier than that, Lisa? So they can have the information for the next school committee meeting? Yeah, let's do that earlier so we can vote on anything at the next school committee meeting.
Whenever you
So
want to do it, it doesn't matter, time with me.
how about May 3rd?
Send me an email.
May 3rd
May 3rd,
at
yeah.
3 o'clock and could
Yep.
you do 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
May
So it's
3rd,
May
3
3rd
o'clock.
at 3
May
for salary negotiation.
3rd, 3
Mr.
o'clock.
Irving.
I believe we have a meeting scheduled for May 10th at 5:30.
Salary.
The policy.
And our next meeting will be May 10th, 2023 at 6:30. There is no new business posted. There is no executive session posted.
Move to adjourn.
Wait,
That's a
wait,
second.
just one question about
Yes.
subcommittees. Sorry, I know.
It'll come to you next month.
What?
Next month.
I know, I know, but I was gonna say, how do, so if we wanted to contact you to let you know that we want to be on a committee or not, or whatever, would we?
Same as always.
I'm just saying for the benefit of the new members, you know,
Yeah, just email myself and Lisa and we'll work with Mr. James on setting
Okay.
up committees.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be great. If so, for new members, if you're interested in any of those subcommittees we just went over, policy, salary,
Salary negotiation.
plant operations and instructional personnel. If any of the four of those sound interesting to you or you'd like to be on them, just send me an email and we'll make sure we work with Mr. James on that.
Mr. Chairman, can we get an updated list of the new members, of all our members on the board here? Names and everything. Thank you. Email, numbers, thanks.
Sorry, move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. Seconded.
Second.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Noy,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Irving, sorry, Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Ms. Drew.
Yes.
Mr. Slavatsky,
Yes.
Brett, Mr. Murray.
Yes.
And Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.